Welcome back to Starting Up. Now, deep discounts, group shopping, well, these are themes that have been seeing a big wave here in India. Rather than giving a discount, a startup on the show today actually gives consumers a refund on their purchases. It's Cashback on Super Angels. Hello and welcome to Super Angels, the show where we endeavor to find India's next super entrepreneur. I'm very happy to welcome back onto the show Sanjay Pathasati. Sanjay, we have a very interesting startup here. It's from the sector of loyalty rewards. So, from your experience both in India and in the US, what do you make of that sector?
I think the sector is pretty good. I mean, obviously, people love to have cash back or rewards back, and it's been around for quite a while. So it's all in the execution, I think.
So you mentioned cashback, and the startup's name is Cazbak. So let's have a look at the pitch.
Shopping online is the most easy and convenient method for purchasing your favorite items. But have you ever been paid to shop at your favorite online stores? Sounds real? Well, that's the reality when you shop to Cashback. Just sign up for your free account and journey to your favorite online retailers through our website. From our network of over 40 affiliates, you can shop for just about anything from all the top stores across the country. Cashback then tracks all the purchases made by you at the online store and earns a commission ranging from 2% to up to 25%. And referring your friends to Cashback also wins you 10% of their earnings for the entire first year. Now, when a user reaches a minimum of 500 rupees in his account, he can choose to collect the payment via check or PayPal. Our main revenue stream is the part commission earned from various online merchants plus added bonuses for achieving specific targets. We also earn revenue from online advertising of popular stores, affiliation with name brands, and customized campaigns to promote their products. The revenues we project both from the Indian and the US sides are Rs 1.2 crores in 2011 and moving up to Rs 9 crore in 2016. I'd like to make a pitch for Rs 2.5 crore for 25% equity in my company. The funds will be used for development, advertisement, marketing and operational needs to grow the company. So unleash the shopaholic in you. Log on to Cashback today.
Great. So Sanjay, 2.5 to 9 crores, does it seem like a big enough business for you?
I mean, it's a big enough business. I mean, it's a simple business. You send leads, you help people make a purchase, and you get a percentage of that money, and then you redistribute that back to the customer. So it's a simple business, and it can scale.
Sure.
So the question is, will it scale?
It's a good time to invite Rauf of Cashback into our studios. So Rauf, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So Sanjay has been looking at the pitch and he's been looking into his little black book as well.
Okay.
So Sanjay, first off the cuff reactions to Rauf.
Off the cuff, I think it's a simple enough business model. It's all about execution, as I told Sudhir. The website is clean compared to some of the competition. It's a lot easier to use. You've got enough merchants on it. So the key now is, how do you get customers to come, subscribe, and use your service?
That's what the next part is basically. And once we are done on the user experience part, I mean, once we are through to the technical and system development part, next we are looking at to attract maybe young online users.
How many people are using the service now in India?
Right now it's nearly about 100 users, just because it's launched 2 months back, so we haven't done extensive marketing out, so we don't have too many people on that.
You do outside of India as well, correct?
Yeah, we are in US as well.
And how many users there?
We have around 300 users in US.
Why would you do the US? Why wouldn't you just focus on India?
Basically, when I came back to US, the idea actually started from launching in US, and then meanwhile, it took us around 1.5 years to develop the website. And meanwhile, we realized that the Indian industry is growing faster, and you can actually
But you have so many more competitors in the US and in India. I mean, you're probably one of the very, I haven't seen anything else.
There's probably one more in this.
One more in the
Yeah.
space. Why wouldn't you just put all your effort into India?
And there are enough retailers who are willing to give.
They are enough retailers, but the thing is, I mean, you know, you are not. I mean, the online industry is still kind of skeptical right now. I mean,
But 300 users in the US. I mean, what can you do with that? I mean, why even waste the time, right?
In terms of the monies you make from US as opposed to India per transaction, how much higher?
It's almost 3 times higher than India.
Okay.
And have you looked at enterprises in India as, so let's say it's 3 times higher in the US, but if you actually sold the service to companies?
That would again be an additional service to whatever existing model is. I don't want to focus just on the corporates, right? I mean, because
No. But in India, the entry point might be corporates, right? Because as you rightly say, there's not too many people doing e-commerce on
And
the
getting
web.
people one by one is difficult, as opposed to getting one
yeah.
corporate and you get 2,000
yeah, so
people.
that's again on our you know, to-do list.
So this is what I mean by execution, right? How you go to market.
Take us through your margins in India right now, Rao.
It's nearly 25% of what our transactions happen.
Okay. So let's assume, just give us a use case, say Yatra.com.
They have, for example, say 500 rupees commission for an international ticket and 200 for a domestic one. So if a user buys a domestic one, I would keep 50 rupees for me and give back 150 rupees to the user.
Another point I want to bring up, Sanjay, is this tipping point of 500 rupees he has from a user's perspective. Unless you hit 500, he can't really take his money back. Are you okay? Are you comfortable?
Yeah, I think that's okay. Loyalty only works when people do multiple purchases.
And when people are
and
loyal
if you're not
to begin
gonna,
with.
if you're not going to reach 500, I mean, that's not a customer that I think he's targeting.
Sanjay's point is that the easy part has been done, right? But the hard part is still pending.
It is
So
still
Rao,
pending, yes.
give him confidence and give us confidence that you'll be able to get users onto your site.
For India, basically, yeah, it is a tough challenge to get users. I mean, you know, I've been trying to put some ads on Facebook and Google. Got some response, but it wasn't too good.
My view is if you can aggregate user acquisition, like, I mean, corporates is just an example.
Right.
But, you know, schools or
Right,
colleges or, I mean, where you can get more than one user at a time,
Yeah.
this thing is going to be incredibly hard.
In terms of the valuation, 2.5 crore for 25%.
That's, you know, let's see, you know, when you get to 1 million customers, what the right valuation is.
Right.
This feels a little high.
2.5 crores is too much money from scale this business, or you think he needs that much?
You know, I think that might be a little too much money right now.
Ralph, you want to explain why you need 2.5 crores?
Yeah, basically, as we are, you know, parallelly going in India and US, so basically expansions or expenditures in US, basically.
Sanjay's already said he's not interested in the US.
I think your competitive focus should be in India.
In India,
but if you can scale in the US, hey, I'll take it.
Right.
But the point is, if you're going to use that money for customer acquisition, as in, you know, advertising and promotions,
Right.
I'm not sure that might be the best way to do it.
So also evaluated taking this offline?
But that's what the next thing can be. I mean, you know, when we enter into mobile markets, I mean, we can have something on mobiles, and you know, you can walk into the store and show the
The
code.
offline play might be very interesting because, I mean, if you go into the second, third tier cities where they don't have access to a lot of the brands that you have on there, they have no way of accessing that, and you give them an incentive of cash back.
Right.
I mean, and
empowering.
there's a lot of potential customers.
But again, he needs feet on the street to be doing that.
That's right, feet on the street.
Right.
So you really have to think about this execution and acquiring
We are
customers.
vested in
So
that.
Sanjay, how many customers do you want the next time you meet Ralph?
500,000 to 1 million customers, I think, is when you get really interesting interest from the merchants.
Okay.
But you know, it becomes an interesting business.
Ralph, you're at 100 customers, 499,900 to go.
Yeah, and it's more important to think about, you know, having a plan. I mean, there's a difference between having a plan that may or may not work and having a dream, right? Very different. You should have a plan.
So Ralph, give us your final plan.
Targeting corporates would be one of the top 2 things on my list right now. Then we would think about some alternative ways to go viral in some less
Students is another one, right? Because they're price sensitive.
So finally, Sanjay, if there were 3 things you'd want Ralph to work on, what would those be?
Well, I mean, obviously, acquiring customers is the most important thing. that is number 2, and that is number 3. So those are the 3 things.
So Sanjay is clearly of the opinion that the easy part has been done, but the hard part of acquiring customers remains. He believes a customer acquisition strategy which entails reaching out to corporates and aggregating customers might work. Well, you could disagree with Sanjay and vote for Rauf by sending us an SMS, writing us an email, or voting for him on our Facebook page. Will Rauf be India's next super entrepreneur? Well, follow us on Super Angels and find out. Yes, and no doubt, Cazbak will be mentored by a Thai mentor over the next 6 months. We'll be keeping a close watch on their progress. While I shoot some pool, it's time for us to take a quick break here on the show. But coming up, catch all the news in the startup community in our news section, News Wheel, that's coming up right after this break.